It is.
Yes. It's working.
Yeah. Good to see you. No, very good.
Technology is
Okay,
amazing.
Hello, dear Mariana. I am Marina, and now let's try to have a short discussion, if you don't mind.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Can we ask you to do something with the light because the picture is not very clear?
Mm-hmm. I can put some lights on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's
Okay.
all right. Now it's okay. Mariana, we ask you, did you happen to look through the presentations Edward sent you?
Yes, I have done.
Yes, and can you please share your opinion? We are really interested in your
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. So, first of all, you are very brave. On Friday night, you are still there. And I'd like to thank you for inviting me to comment these proposals, and I'd like to congratulate you also and the organizers for organizing this symposium. Marina, do you need to translate or is it okay?
Yes. Yes, I just would like to comment, right? Just the general idea of your speech.
Yeah. Okay. I got 8 or 7 proposals and I had time to look them through. I must say that they are very high quality. You have done very good job with them already. There are, okay? And there are innovative ideas
В
about
них присутствуют
arts,
инновационные идеи,
models, and using internet, which also kind of shows the problems because I think that we are tackling with a very complex issue here.
На мой взгляд, мы имеем дело с довольно серьезной проблемой.
And the issues that are very complex, they affect individuals, like children or students.
То есть мы имеем дело с тем, что оказывает непосредственное влияние на обучающихся, на детей.
But also communities like classrooms or workplaces.
Но и также определенные сообщества, например, когда речь идет о рабочих местах или о классных комнатах.
And also societies in general.
И в целом общество.
And I think that that's also part of the problem, that there is no one practice or one best practice or one right answer that we can find to this complex issue.
И для того, чтобы решить эту проблему, вряд ли нам с вами удастся найти один верный ответ.
Yeah. So what does it mean? It means that we need different types of approaches and different types of answers. And I think that these proposals reflect that very well.
Это означает, что нам необходимо использовать разные подходы и находить разные ответы.
And I'd like to give you 4 issues. I'd like to point out 4 issues or 4 key ideas that came to my mind when I saw all those proposals.
И я хочу поделиться с вами 4 основными ключевыми идеями, которые возникли у меня, когда я просмотрела эти презентации.
And I understand that I have read only very short descriptions.
Ну и, насколько я понимаю, мне были представлены довольно краткое описание предполагаемых проектов.
Okay, the first issue.
Так, первая проблема.
Okay.
Первый момент.
Okay, when we are talking about multicultural issue and intercultural issue or polycultural issue, it's always also the...
Когда мы имеем дело с мультикультурным, интеркультурным или поликультурным образованием,
it's always the kind of clarification of the concept. Clarification of what do we mean.
Мы прежде всего должны для себя уяснить, что же мы имеем в виду под тем или иным феноменом.
Yeah, and when thinking about intercultural, then I'm just suggesting that instead of thinking about one culture, should we be talking about different cultural practices?
И, на мой взгляд, не можем ли мы с вами говорить о нескольких культурах? Может ли речь идти о нескольких?
Yeah. If we think about different cultural practices, then we can also see the intra-cultural variation. You know, there's variation inside one culture also. Not only that there are different type of cultures like entities, but there are variation inside one culture and also what comes a kind of hybrid culture, so that cultures merge and evolve.
И тогда вполне вероятно, что и внутри одной культуры мы можем найти какие-то различия.
Okay.
Четко видны.
Okay. Then the second issue is about, there were many proposals about adaptation and integration.
Второй момент касается адаптации и интеграции.
And I understand that also because we in Finland, we are talking about immigrant integration into the language, into the Finnish language or to the Finnish culture.
Я это довольно четко для себя понимаю, поскольку и в Финляндии нам приходится сталкиваться с тем, когда мигрантам приходится нашу языковую среду.
But what I'd like to suggest also that it's not only adaptation and integration, but it's also the other way around, how this polyculturality could be a source of innovations and new ideas.
Но здесь мы можем поговорить и о том, как поликультурность может стать основой для инноваций.
And then the third idea that I had in my mind was that what was actually the role of the students or the children or adults, how they were kind of involved in this planning of these proposals.
И третья мысль заключается в том, какая роль отводится студентам, обучающимся в мультикультурной среде при реализации этих подходов.
That's a kind of question of participation and also the question that whose culture are we actually talking about?
И вопрос, наверное, еще заключается в том, о чьей культуре мы говорим.
Yeah. And also, well, I think, as I said, that those proposals, they have very good ideas, and you know your own local and regional kind of needs. What are their needs? And these three ideas, I just wanted to point out that, okay, is it adaptation and integration versus giving floor to new ideas? The one culture or different cultural practices and hybridities. And then third, whose culture are we talking about, and how these people whose cultures we are talking about are involved in our projects and proposals. That's what I had in mind. I wish you all the best and all the best with your proposals. I'm sure you will do a very good job with them, and thank you for involving me. And if you have any questions for me now, then I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
So Edward has a question. So he's aware that you and your colleague developed a kind of model of multicultural competence. Can you please somehow explain just some details of, or maybe components of this model?
Okay.
Just briefly.
Okay. Just briefly, what we found. Okay. We can think about multicultural competence as part of different issues like language or awareness or attitudes or skills, which is a very kind of typical way of saying what is multicultural competence. But, okay. Okay, but what we with Johanna suggested is that we need actually a different type of conceptual approach, because this is a very complex issue. And it's not only, you never can say very thoroughly that what is actually definition of multicultural competence, but we have to look at the local histories and activities in which those competencies are needed. So that in a business environment, we will need a different type of cultural competence than, for example, in a daycare center or in a school. So what we need to do is a kind of look at the actual practices and activities where we need these competencies and say then that, okay, what kind of competence we need in that particular activity or situation. Because, you know, we have very many different type of kind of approaches how to define what is multicultural competence. So our point was that we have to look at the history of the people who are working, and we have to look at those practical activities people are involved in. Okay, now I realize that Nectaria is also hearing my presentation. So hi, Nectaria. Okay. Did I answer your questions? Your question, Edward?
На наш взгляд, в этом вопросе требуется более концептуальный, комплексный подход, поскольку мы имеем дело со сложным, комплексным понятием, и, на наш взгляд, прежде всего следует обращаться к истории, как складывалась историческая ситуация в том или ином регионе и учитывать деятельность, которая была свойственна тем или иным регионам, практики. Вот, и исходя из этого, то есть рассматривать, скажем так, локально эту компетенцию. Thank you so much, Mariana.
Okay.
Had a really nice discussion.
Bye bye. Okay.
You.
All the best. Bye bye. Okay.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay.
Bye.
I will now close, or should I? Okay.
Yes, can you please close?